with Cody O'Hara and Wendy Lane.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Yesterday marked the 70th anniversary of D-Day, and the Wyoming Veterans Memorial Museum is commemorating the day for the next few months.
News 13 stops by the museum and learns the museum itself is part of World War II history.
Well, D-Day was the code word for what was named Operation Overlord.
A mission to reclaim Western Europe, D-Day was declared the beginning of the end of World War II.
June 6, 2014 is the 70th anniversary of D-Day. So to commemorate that, we wanted to put together a small exhibit using specific D-Day items from our collection,
including a unique item that saved a man's life when his plane was shot down after flying over the beaches of Normandy on D-Day.
Ripcord of a parachute where a guy pulled the handle. He was a B-24 bomber trained here at Casper.
That's right, Casper. Over 70 years ago, the Casper-Natrona County International Airport was no more than a field full of sagebrush until the U.S. military recognized the powerful crosswinds on the flat land would be perfect training ground for pilots.
It was built between April and September 1942. They built here during that time frame 4-mile-long runways, 400 buildings, a railroad spur, roads, potable water, sewage, telephone, everything you need to do complete heavy bomber training.
Over 1,600 pilots were trained in Casper, many of the ones who flew over Normandy on D-Day. Bob Burris lived next to the military airport as a kid.
I had a lot of fun watching the soldiers and running around up here and chasing them and watching the planes take off and come in.
And even the museum itself is part of history. The murals on the walls were drawn on with chalk by soldiers in 1944.
Through the hard work of the airport board, about 91 of those 400 buildings are saved today. And in fact, this is the best preserved World War II airport in the United States.
150,000 troops stormed the beaches of France on June 6, 1944. Now, originally, the mission was supposed to happen on the 5th, but because of bad weather, General Eisenhower postponed the attack by one day.
Now, severe weather in Aurora, Colorado brought a tree crashing down on a man's mobile home, splitting it down the middle and trapping him inside.
But one man came to the rescue, using his bare hands to break windows and walls to get the victim out. Cheryl Preheim talked to the hero and has his story.
It builds, then strikes.
All in a blink of an eye.
Andrew Carson has a new appreciation for the force of a storm.
Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts.
He was there when it hit.
I saw a trailer split in half. I could hear a man screaming on the inside. You know, I've never heard anybody cry out for help the way that I heard this man crying. I couldn't think about anything but getting that man out of there.
And go into Game 3 Monday up 2-0 in this series. I was pretty disappointed that California Chrome did not win the race today.
Oh, I know.
That Triple Crown, but
now those cars were flying around.
They were so fast.
How
and
loud
so
was
loud.
that?
It was very loud. I suggest earplugs, definitely.
Oh, no.
It was very fun.
We'll be right back.
We'll keep an eye on the sky for that and keep you posted.
That temperature is jumping almost 30 degrees between Sunday and Monday.
Well, when it dropped like this, it dropped 20 degrees.
Right. I know you were proud of your little tiny fish you caught today.
I heard you caught this.
Yeah, it was like as big as my hand.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
With his purpose clearly defined, Griffin Furlong is well on his way to even greater success. For today, Rahima Ellis, NBC News, Jacksonville, Florida.
And I'm sure he'll be very successful in the future.
Wow, what an inspirational young man.
Definitely.
That's amazing.
Well, recent droughts in Texas have meant fewer mosquitoes.
But the ones that are buzzing around now are more aggressive than in past seasons, and I can attest for that all over my legs. Bianca Castro has that story.
Tonight, we found 2-year-old Isley and her friends squeezing in some time in the sandbox right before dusk, before some not-so-friendly visitors crashed the party.
They seem to be more aggressive. My neighbor and I joke that they've mutated because nothing that we put on the babes seems to be working.
And even though we're not in a drought here, I think that they're even worse.
They're everywhere, but you know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping this cold weather right now will maybe like kill them off.
And speaking of cold weather, let's check in with meteorologist Tyler Weir.
Tyler, are we expecting, so it's cold outside right now.
Yeah,
is it in the 40s? Are you kidding me?
And raining and everything.
But it's going to be a nice day tomorrow, right?
It is. It's going to turn around to be a great day, guys. So it's going to be good news. Now, as you can tell behind me, these are some lows that we're going to be seeing tonight. The good news is I didn't have to water my grass today, but I'll have more coming up right after this. It's going to be all right. Mostly 70s, maybe some 90s thrown in there. So that's more like you guys.
Frost tonight and 90s later this week.
All right.
Bring it on. All right.
Well, an unusual sight has hit the roads of an eastern Chinese city. The farmer turned inventor turns heads when he drives on his motorized suitcase.
I know you wanted one
I'm
of these,
telling you,
Wendy.
I need one of these because when I travel to New York, I have to carry my suitcase all over the city.
Right.
And that would be so convenient.
awesome.
Look at that. Or through the Denver airport, you know?
Definitely.
There's a long walk there. Just get on there.
Well, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you tonight at 10.